each other by name.
Ready? Alright, we live.
This is regular meeting of Tatum ISD. It is now 5:31 p.m. on December 8, 2025, and we have a quorum. Mr. Williams will lead us in the pledge of allegiance, followed by Mr. Crawford giving the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us here together today. We ask that you help us and lead us in setting goals for the students of Tatum, the administration, the staff. We ask that you are with those that are traveling during the Christmas holidays and keep them safe. In your name we pray. Amen.
You have anything to sign up?
No, sir.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the consent items and presented minutes of the regular board meeting November 3rd, 2025, and the TASD policy update 126 as presented?
Mr. President, I so move.
A motion by Mr. Smith, and I second it. And a second by Mr. Skinner, thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? None, motion carries.
We got no announcements, Mr. President. We have action item. We have Mr. Miles going to introduce our auditor here tonight, and she's going to present our end-of-year audit. Well, our fiscal year audit for last year.
So this is Miss Breeze. Y'all think y'all know her from McNally. Not McNally. What's the Mallory? Yeah.
Mallory.
So she does an incredible job and helps me quite a bit, and we're glad to see her tonight.
And she'll be about 2 hours. Is that how long?
No. Y'all got it. Made it easy.
This is evaluation night.
Evaluation night. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up the other piece of paper. This year went really, really well. We did provide you with an executive summary. I don't know if they uploaded it or what.
Yes, it's uploaded.
Okay. It's kind of an English version of everything that's inside of this, like a little Cliff Notes version for you guys, so that if you don't want to fall asleep and not reading it, this gives you the blood and guts of it all, so that you know exactly what's going on. Once again, you guys, for your audit opinion letter, which is the most important thing, you got unmodified. That's the best you can do. We didn't have any findings this year, which is great. And on page 5, you will see the management discussion and analysis, and that's where Brandon actually takes our financials and puts it into where you guys can evaluate into words. It's more of a narrative format, and puts it more in English, where what's going on right currently this past school year, what's going on in the future, what to look for. So that's a good way to get a lot of information in more financial linguistic format. On page 11 is the statement of net position. This is a full accrual basis. It's our A1. So it's going to be nice. And it has draft on it, because I'm not allowed to give you guys an official one until I get that certificate of the board. So that's why it still says draft. Once I get that signed and approved, it will no longer say draft for us to submit. But we just don't like copies of it flying around with them without the draft on it, without a signature. So as you can see on there, you can see those big numbers, that 1.3 million and 1.9 million of the deferred outflows of resources. And if you go down to, you'll see the inflows of resources, and that's the net pension and OPEBs. Liabilities of 5.5 million. Those are huge whopping numbers. From what we're pretty much made of numbers that the state gives us that we're required to go on there. Nothing to really worry about. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And it's just, this is full of accrual. This is what one of the guys used to come out and said, you guys have all your liabilities. If all of your teachers and everybody were to retire at once, this is how much you would have to pay them according to the actuaries. So for just financial statement transparency, that's why it's on there. But in reality, that number is just an actual real number. So don't let that scare you. But then if you switch over to the page 12, that's also full accrual. That's where it's got all those net pension and expenses and everything like that, so it looks a little bit different. But for you guys, if you go on over to page 13, that's the modified accrual. That's more in English, which you're used to seeing, your general fund, your debt service fund, your other governmental funds. And you can see that you have a general fund balance of 6.6 million this year. That is 758,000 more than last year, so that is good. We have more money in our general fund. We like that. We like that fund balance to be at least no less than 3 months of operating costs. So for you guys, that's $4 million, and you're at 6, so you're looking like a healthy fund balance. And so you're doing really good with that. On page 15 is the statement of revenues and expenditures, and that just has all your revenues. You can see your local and intermediate sources right there in the general fund and debt service fund are under your tax dollars that you guys receive in. And then your federal programs are also at the top, and your state program revenues, which is like your foundation revenue that's coming from your ADA, and then you got 2.4 million of federal program revenues this year. Below, it's broken out by your function codes of all your different expense categories, and like we've already said, that your net change for this past year was 758 in general fund, and overall was 430,000 for all of your funds. So everything's looking really good. And then if you will go to page 17 and 18, right there, you guys are the custodians. That means you're responsible for the money of your student activity money. This is the money that you got your students are taking in, and y'all are just kind of overseeing it, making sure we're following all the controls, and it's got $27,000 in it right now. And then on the next page will be how much fundraising came in and the money that went out. So we like to see the amount of money that's coming in as close to the amount of money going out, so we're not just building it up. So that looks really good, that the kids that are earning that money is actually getting the benefits of that money. So that's kind of one thing that you're looking at when you're looking at those custodial funds in the future. You want to make sure that those kids earning the money are the ones benefiting from it. Then next are the notes of financial statements. They're very similar to prior years. There are just lots of more detailed information in there. And then if you'll go to page 43, so this is your general fund budget comparison. So this is where you've got your budget amounts and your final amount. This is the only issue that we found throughout the audit, and we actually had to put a footnote in it. And you guys probably will receive a letter from TEA on it, because it is so important to them. They actually have their own schedule and everything that they're looking at. We exceeded the budget in 4 areas. Y'all have normally exceeded it in 1 area over the past several years. This year, we went over in 4, so they really want you guys to make sure before anything's being approved that it's in line with budget. You're allowed to make as many budget amendments throughout the year as you want, so just keep that in mind, that you will be probably receiving a letter. It's just kind of a slap on the hand saying, make sure that we stay in line with our budget. And that was the only major issue that we found throughout the audit. Page 51 and 52. Is your taxes. You guys have a total tax levy of $8.3 million this year, which is a decrease of $536,000 from prior year. It's good for your taxpayers, but a little bit less for you guys. And all but $167,000 was collected, which is really, really well. And then the total uncollected for all years is $782,000. So y'all's tax constituents are doing a really good job of paying, and y'all are doing a good job of collecting, or the appraisal district is. Page 53 is your lunch program. Your fund balance is $6,864. You guys don't normally carry a very big fund balance, which we like to see that, because if you start getting too much, that means we gotta start spending money in it. We don't want a lot of money sitting inside there. It means you're bringing in about the same amount that it's costing you. But it is kind of getting low, so just keep an eye on that to make sure that we are adjusting our lunch prices. We need to make sure we're keeping them with the same minimums, or if we need to raise them up. But we're still looking pretty good right there. You're not having to transfer any money from general fund to cover anything, but I would just keep an eye on that one for next year. Next is your debt service fund balance, and that one decreased $106,000. This money is restricted to principal and interest only, and that's all we can pay with that type of money. And that's about it on them. And then you have your use of funds reports, and this is where we tell TEA This is exactly how they want the report. The title says it only covers selected allotment programs. We're not sure why these two programs are selected, not others, but this is how they want it. This is what they're looking for. These are key numbers TEA is looking for. So that's why this own separate little report out there. Page 56 is the gas report, the Governmental Auditing Standards Compliance Report. People refer to it as the gas report. You had no material weaknesses, and that means there was no internal control issues overall in your governmental side. And then the next one is your major program compliance, and you had no findings in that for the past 2 years. So that means you guys are low risk. We want to stay at low risk because that means we only have to test 20% of your federal programs. If we ever have a finding, or if the state comes in and has a finding or something like that, we have to go back up to 40% and test over 40% of your federal programs. So y'all done really, really well. I think when I first started auditing here, we did have some findings and we were up at 40%, but we've done really well the past 2 years, 3 years, haven't had any issues. This year we tested the special education program. That was our audit, for single audit this year. And just that one program covered 42% of your federal expenditures for this year, so we actually ended up still covering a big chunk of a lot of your federal money. That we're required to test so many programs every 2 years, so sometimes it's just based off of where they're falling. If it's over $750,000, they're required to be tested every 2 years. The district expended $2.3 million in federal awards this year. That's a decrease over the previous years, but we all know it's because COVID money has gone down. So we'll probably start seeing that line back out. So it's nothing that the school has done different, or we haven't applied for anything else. It's just we had so much COVID money beforehand. So this is now starting to look more legit in line with what we had before COVID, and probably what we'll see in the future. Hopefully no more pandemics happen. But Brandon's been awesome. He's done great. Anything that we've had issues with, he's directed, been amazing. We were super smooth this year. I only had to come out for 1 day to be in person, and everything else we are doing electronic, which is awesome. It's helping us streamline it, and y'all are just always a great tool to work with. But very proud of all of them in his hard work. It's really smooth for us. Anybody have any questions?
Appreciate you.
Now I just need an approval of the board. Oh, I did want to add, I cannot submit this to TEA until January because they got a new program. So you won't be finalized with everything until after January 26th. This when they're allowing us to upload to TEA because they are doing a new audit upload program that they're rolling out. So just so you know, we will go to the Federal Audit Clearinghouse probably within the next week, but TEA is going to be on hold.
All right. We have a motion to approve the year-end August 31st, 2025 annual financial audit as presented.
President, so moved.
Have a motion by Mr. Williams, is there a second?
Second.
That was seconded by Mr. Crawford. Okay, Mr. Crawford. All in favor? All opposed? None motion carried. All right, board now will convene the closed meeting to discuss the following items posted on our agenda this evening. Personnel matters as allowed by the Texas Government Code 551.074 involving professional personnel to discuss the evaluation contract, consideration of superintendent of schools. No voting will take place in the closed meeting. Any action the board wishes to take as a result of this discussion closed session will take place after the board reconvenes in the open meeting act. It is now 5:45.